Hi, folks. This is John McClyde with Cna Saturday Night, uh, Saturday Night Show. Today, I just wanted to discuss some well-known Christmas movies, um, and plus, I want to discuss a little bit about some movies that people look at. There's been a debate on certain movies that some people look at as Christmas movies, and some that don't, like Die Hard, for example. Um, Honestly, I look at Die Hard as a movie that was a movie that just happened to be shot during that just happens to be done during the Christmas holidays. But a lot of people acknowledge that as a Christmas movie. Um, I mean, yeah, I get, it. I understand it personally, but I well, I guess it is. I guess it would be a Christmas movie. I guess if it was done during the holidays. I mean, but it, of course, the plot really wasn't all that Christmassy. I mean, you had, of course, the John T. McClane, Bruce Willis, who was basically who was basically trapped in this big, tall building with terrorists and whatnot, and of course, all kinds of craziness ensues. But my whole thing is that dude managed to save the day, defeat a whole bunch of terrorists while he was barefooted. I mean, that's just crazy to me personally. I would have at least found some socks or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable fighting a bunch of bad guys, especially terrorists, barefooted. I mean, that's just crazy to me. I would have at least tried and found some flip flops or something, because that just seemed weird to me. But but a lot of people just may think that's just one crazy badass feet. No pun intended. I mean, feet. But yeah. Yeah, I just thought that was just weird. I mean, it's a great movie. A lot of people now acknowledges that as one of the greatest action movies of all time. That just happens to take place during Christmas. But but yeah, me personally, I would have at least tried and found some slippers or something. I mean, I just don't. I really wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Just fighting, shooting a bunch of terrorists while I'm barefooted. But John McClane had to do what he had to do. And of course, that became a franchise all by itself, and voila, there you go. Another movie based over. Friday After Next. Um, of course, you had starring Ice Cube and Mike Epps. That was another movie that just happens to have taken place during the holiday season. I mean, there was all the all the craziness ensued just so they can get their rent money in time, so they could pay pay the landlord. So I don't know if a lot of people would acknowledge that as a holiday movie. I think it is. I mean, you had the main bad guy who was dressed up as Santa, uh, Ricky Smiley. Yeah, of course he's from Birmingham. Shout out to him. Um, he was basically the Santa thief that was basically stealing everything. And I would definitely place that up as a Christmas movie. I mean, they had all the Christmas things. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of that movie, you had they was playing "Silent Night" by the Temptations in the background. So yeah, I would definitely count that as a Christmas movie as well. I mean, not the type of Christmas movie that you would think like Elf or the Santa Claus from Disney or any of the animated Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or any of the excuse me, any of the Frosty the Snowman animated specials that they used to show on CBS and all the networks back in the day. But yeah, But yeah, I mean, it's but yeah, I mean, I think it was a fascinating movie. Friday After Next, and also a part of a franchise, which was the third movie in the franchise. A lot of people are looking forward to the fourth one, but reportedly, I mean, there's been some stuff going on. I think according to Ice Cube, but hopefully we'll get that. Hopefully we'll get that fourth movie Sunday. But Batman Returns. Now, I don't know if a lot of people would count that as a holiday movie, but I don't know if I would count that as a holiday movie, but it was a movie that, again, another movie that just happens been to have happened. It's a movie that just happens to have taken place during the holiday season. Of course, you had Batman Bruce Wayne, played by Michael Keaton, who, in a lot of people's opinion, is the greatest Batman of all time. And then, of course, you had Danny DeVito as the Penguin and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, and Christopher Walken was the creepy rich guy, I think. And oh yeah, of course, happy 30th anniversary to Batman Returns, which is now 30 years old, which is unbelievable. I mean, then of course you had the video game from the SNES, which I've of course talked about before, but like I said, it's just another movie that just so happens to have taken place during the holiday season. I mean, uh you had the snow and everything, and of course Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman frolicking, just playing around the streets, jumping around in her whip with the snow in the background. So to be honest, I mean it looked kind of weird, but of course it was directed by Tim Burton. I mean, so of course you're gonna get weird. Um, of course you're just gonna get weird stuff all around. So uh, the Nightmare Before Christmas. I think a lot of people. Yeah, I guess that would count as a Christmas movie. Um, a very weird, twisted Christmas movie that a lot of people that is a that is a classic. But honestly, to be honest, I always looked at Nightmare Before Christmas as when I watched it, it was one big musical. I mean, of course, Disney movies are always musical, but I just think it was a little bit. It's like they put a little bit extra on the musical part. But then again, in a movie like that, I mean, what more would you expect? I always looked at it was like a confrontation between Halloween and Christmas, but I think it was done pretty. I think it was done pretty well, and a lot of people would agree with that. So, um, oh, there's a lot of Christmas movies, actual legit Christmas movies that I enjoyed as a kid and still to this day. Of course, you have Nightmare Before Christmas. Not that. Excuse me. A Christmas Story, um, which I enjoyed as a kid. Of course, everybody knows Ralphie, who wanted that Red Ryder BB shotgun, and of course ended up shooting his eye out. A lot of craziness ensues. It really just captured the essence of what it was like to be a kid and what you had to go through just to get that one thing that you wanted for Christmas. So, oh yes, and of course, HBO Max has just recently put out a sequel, which takes place 30 years later after the original movie, A Christmas Story Christmas, which has all of the original cast members reprising their roles. So I haven't seen that movie yet, but I definitely want to check that out. And there's a the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I think uh, Glenn and the rest of the CNA crew they spoke about that last week on the Sunday show, which is awesome. You guys should check that out, which they do every Sunday. Um, I've only seen parts of it, and I'm looking forward to checking out the rest of it. apparently apparently the movie has Kevin Bacon involved in the movie, so he somehow plays a role in the movie. So I guess so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Just looking forward to seeing that movie and see how that goes. And then of course there's the Charlie Brown Christmas special, which I enjoyed. Of course, it has the Christmas time is here theme song, which is probably, in my opinion, one of the best Christmas songs of all time. It really just sets the mood for the holiday season. So and then of course you had Charlie Brown and the Peanuts gang and the Christmas tree and everything, which was also their animated debut, which their TV animated television debut, which was um, nearly 50, nearly I think it's been 56 years now, 56, because it because back then because back when they put out the Peanuts movie, the most recent Peanuts movie, that was during the 50th anniversary back in 2015, 2016. So it's been about 55, 56 years since that animated special. So I heard that they won't be airing it on cable television this year. I think they're only going to show that on Apple TV, seeing that that's where that's where the latest Charlie Brown Peanut animated cartoon shows are being aired now on Apple Television. Um, I barely hear anything from Apple Television, but I mean, if you're really into Peanuts and want to check that out, I mean, it's on Apple Plus TV. So there you go, right there. So I really must apologize for doing this like really late at night at 10:15. But then again, I mean, some of the stuff that we do lasts until like 11 or 12 anyway. So so anyway, so I guess that'll do it for my show. For my Saturday night show on Complete Nerd Authority Television. I guess I guess this will conclude this episode. So we appreciate all the support and all the views that we get here on CNA TV, and I will I will see you guys later, and happy holidays.